It is Super Tuesday. Primary voters in 16 states and one territory will have their voices heard tonight, making their choice for president known.
Well, tonight's contest will prove pivotal to winning party nominations later this summer.
CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede joins us now. And Jim, tonight's contest not really expected to be really surprising as far as the results go. So is this potentially the end of the road for Nikki Haley's campaign?
I think this is probably the end of the line for Nikki Haley. She has no events scheduled after tonight. As a matter of fact, she's seeing the results come in her home state of South Carolina. She's not even in one of the Super Tuesday states this evening. And so all indications are that she's probably going to call it quits after this. About a third of the delegates will have been chosen. She only ended up winning in the District of Columbia over the weekend, the District of Columbia Republican presidential primary. She won. That's her only victory right now. But again, we're going to keep an eye on looking to see just how many people, knowing that Nikki Haley will lose, will still vote for her as a way of showing their displeasure with Donald Trump.
Yeah, sort of a protest vote. It doesn't seem so super. On the Democratic side, we know that it's a foregone conclusion that President Biden is the nominee. Now, he's got a big State of the Union speech coming up. What are you hearing about that?
So I think one of the things that is being told is that expect a shorter speech. Do not expect, one of those Bill Clinton era hour-long State of the Union addresses like we used to see a lot. This is probably going to be a shorter speech, probably in the 30 or so minute range. Expect him to sort of lay out, his accomplishments, because one of the things that the White House feels is that his low approval ratings are in part because people don't really connect the things that he's done with the improvements in their life. And even though inflation has come down and there are positive signs with regard to the economy, people just aren't feeling it.
Right.
So how do you convince people that, you have to acknowledge it? And I also expect him to talk about the border. That has clearly been a dominant issue. He just came back from the border, so I would expect to hear more about that.
And people are concerned about his age, his energy level. Maybe we'll see something that night.
I think that's one of the reasons why they're going to keep it a little on the shorter side. Pack as much energy as you can in a short period of time and get off the stage without too many flubs. But look, both candidates make flubs. This is the rematch we're headed towards that nobody wants. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, but it's what we've got.
That's what we're getting.
All right, Jim DeFede, thank you so much as always for your insight. We'll be checking in more as a Super Tuesday, or not so super, as you said, continues to unfold. We appreciate it, Jim. And CBS News will have special coverage of Super Tuesday. That coverage begins tonight at 10. Then stay up for CBS News Miami tonight at 11. Our Joan Murray will be live from Mar-a-Lago at former President Donald Trump's Super Tuesday watch party.